I don't even know about this. This is like a true, like, in the moment reaction.
This is the story of, I really want to redo my living room. So I want to get a new couch. Like, I just been feeling uncomfortable on my couch. And I want, like, one of those couches that have, like, you put your feet up.
Like a little chase, a sectional.
Yeah. So I really want that. So I've had in my head that, like, I really want a new couch. I got to get rid of my couch. And it's been, like, a couple of months I've been having this feeling. So I finally bought a couch that's coming in 2 days.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to get rid of my other couch.
Which is always a headache.
Yeah.
What did you do?
So
Facebook Market?
To buy the couch?
To sell your old couch.
I didn't sell it. I just want to get rid of it.
Oh, okay.
So you could either, like, if depending on where you live, on your certain street, like, you have certain pickups, like the...
Like with sanitation, you can like call them up and say I have a big item. You don't call them
anymore. Like that was like pre-COVID. Now you just like, my day's Wednesday night or like Thursday morning. So Wednesday night you leave out like whatever big bulk items you want to.
Okay.
Or you could just call like a junkyard people and pick it up. So there's like 1-800-JUNK. There's Junk Lungers. There's like a bunch of sites that like pick up your junk.
And you have to pay them.
And you pay them.
But sanitation, do you pay them?
No, it's
city.
free. That's city life.
They'll come into your thing, or you
have to bring the couch out. So like doing my research, a lot of people are like, you could either hire a TaskRabbit for people to like bring your couch down, or you could pay for these people to pick up your couch. Right?
I got you.
So I'm going to pay these people to pick up my couch because I just want to get it over with and like whatever. So on these sites, though, they don't give you a clear definition of how much it's going to cost.
Ooh, okay.
Their thing is, we'll assess the situation.
And then we'll let you know.
And then we'll let you know the price. So today, total millennial thing, I hyped myself up to be closed off today. Like, I was like, I'm not going to be friendly. If they, like, give me a price, like, I'm going to, like, push back. Like, I'm going to negotiate, right?
Okay,
So I had to hype myself up all morning, right?
I got you. This is so funny because when you texted me about it, I thought you got played.
Well, I could have got played.
Yeah,
If I'd never gotten played before, which I've gotten played multiple times. I've learned.
So that's why you're amping yourself up. Okay.
No smiles, whatever. Also, I'm a single woman living alone. I'm already, like, scared to, like, invite people who I don't know into my
and you know they're going to be men. It's not going to be two chicks picking up your couch.
We should start a business where we're, like, the junk people, but for women.
We have to get to the gym, start pumping that iron. All right, but whatever.
And then we don't have to go to the gym ever again because that would be our workout.
You know what? I think we're due for a career change.
Okay, so the two guys come. Are you a Parks and Rec person? Have you ever watched Parks and Rec? So anyone who's watched Parks and Rec, there's an episode called Animal Control where they have to call animal control during like the Parks and Rec committee because there's like, I don't know, like it's a possum or something. There's like some loose animal.
Yeah.
And the animal control is just two guys and they're like total stoners and they like fire them and then they're rehiring the animal control and these two guys apply for the job. Like it's a whole skit of like how stoned they are and they're like, we had this is our job that we hired.
Right. So long story short, these are the two guys that come.
These are the two guys that come.
The equivalent.
And they're like, all right, like, let me check the couch out. And they're looking at the couch like, oh, like, this is, like the way that this is set, like, oh, it's gonna be, like, then there's the stairs. And they were making, like, no sense. Like, I had
There's
no idea
elevator. You have an elevator in your building.
But I think that, like, my couch wouldn't fit in the elevator.
Oh, okay, I got it.
So they're like, the guy's like, all right, like, I'm gonna, like, all right, it's gonna be, like, $515.
Like,
and I was like,
not.
$515? I was like, no. I was like, no way.
Just go home.
I was like, all right, you know what? Like, let me call the dispatcher guy, and I'll be right back. So he leaves my apartment to, like, call the dispatcher. Mm-hmm. And I'm stuck with the other bozo. And I'm like, and he's like, oh, so you're getting a new couch? And I'm like,
I thought you were like, so how about the Mets?
So the guy comes back. He's like, all right, they, like, lowered it down to, like, $745. I mean, oh my God, $745. $275. And I'm like, no, like, still no. And he's like, well, what would you do? And I'm like, $150 is, like, what I would do. Like, I would pay right now. And then he's like, all right, let me go call the dispatcher again. So then he leaves again with the freaking other guy. And on the whole time, I'm on my phone because it's so uncomfortable. And I had in my head, what would I do without a phone? Like, how do people, like, go through these interactions without a phone, and like, was it just total awkwardness?
The phone is like a great tool to be like, I am in the situation, but I am removing myself. I'm in contact with someone. You know what I mean? Back then, I guess you would like
have a conversation.
Yeah, you would be like, yeah, I'm getting a couch. You want water? I don't know. You would just like you would small talk.
So then he ccame back and he was like, oh, the dispatcher said like 150 is perfect. So they took the couch for 150.
That is bizarre. It starts at 540 and went all the way down to 150.
So I'm just was telling you that I felt this is Junk Lungers.
Junk Lungers. Okay. Or luggers. Luggers. Like lugging
luggers. Okay, that makes sense.
A lunger. I was like, what's a lunger?
I thought that was like a play on words. So they took the couch. And I was like, whatever. God. I mean, I'm getting my other couch.
Well, high five. Good for you.
And I'm just telling you before, when I was texting you, I'm like, I feel bad for the people who just accept that because they think that that was the price that it is and not negotiate.
That's nuts.
And I'm not a negotiator. So, like, I told you, I had to hype myself up.
No, and I feel like this day and age, like, you're right. I think people just accept prices that are given. They figure it's like, okay, this is the chart. This is how much it is. Mm-hmm. And, like, you never really know when you're in a situation that you can negotiate or, like, kind of try and...
Like, when is it
bargain? Yeah, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Well, I think...
Well, if you want the service, make sure you negotiate. Because you will get a much lower price.
I like that. Yeah. So
junk
when people pick up your junk, you know, you can negotiate.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melanie.
And I'm Diana.
And we're two queens in a
podcast. And we are two queens from Queens, giving you the Queen's perspective. And today, we are bringing you from the top of Manhattan to the bottom of Manhattan.
Yeah, tippity top to the tippity bottom.
Wow.
And you wanted to call it tip to tip.
That's what
I don't know if I want to call it.
That's what people refer to it when I Googled it. Everyone called it like the tip to tip walk.
Well, I'm going to say a little something different.
All right, give us the summary.
Okay, so this is the summary of our excursion that we did from the top of Manhattan to the bottom of Manhattan. So there's a Comedy Central series called Broad City, and the first episode of the 5th and final season, the two main characters, Abbi and Ilana, they go from the top of Manhattan to the bottom of Manhattan, and it's all shot with a format of Instagram stories. Like the whole format is in Instagram stories. Everything that happens is on like the stories. It's called Stories is the title of the episode. And these two creators of the show are the stars. So it's Abbi Jacobson and Ilana Glazer is the two actresses and the creators of Broad City. And their episode was actually based on them doing this walk. So they did a walk from 125th Street to Battery Park, and they were saying how this should be an episode. Mm. And
they did that in real life.
And they did that in real life. So this episode premiered on January 24, 2019, and this solidified the Broad City Challenge, the Broad City Walk. Like, if you Google top of Manhattan to the bottom, you will not really find an article where it doesn't state Broad City Challenge. Like, they don't call it anything else. But I did find something before Broad City called the Urban Trek. And the Urban Trek can be used for anything in the city. It's like going from one part of the city to the other. But people do call this the Manhattan Urban Trek before Broad City. Like, I guess, like, maybe runners did it, like, as, like, a... go to the top to the bottom, but it wasn't really a thing until Broad City made it a thing.
Interesting. Yeah. So you said that they went from 125th to the bottom.
125th to the bottom.
So on the episode, they extend it even more. Okay.
And so in the final episode, you see the two characters who are best friends kind of go their own separate ways. So they figured that this episode would be a hallmark of their friendship and how their episodes and their show is really just about the two of them exploring the city. So they thought that this would be like a really good tie to start the last season because it really is their love letter to just exploring New York City.
New York in general.
And and their identity.
Oh, I didn't know they parted at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
Of the series. Oh man, spoiler alert. What if people watch it?
Well, you said it. Well, like, that's funny because, like...
Not that they're not friends anymore, but the one person leaves New York City to, like, get an opportunity elsewhere.
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no, I felt a little bit like a poser doing the walk because I didn't watch the whole series. Like, I was telling you, I realized I watched like the first 5 or 6 episodes of the first season, and then I realized in hindsight that I stopped at that like hurricane one.
Oh yeah,
where
you
like
didn't
Ilana's handling Abby's like feces, and she's trying to like. And then her roommate defecates in a.
All right, you don't need to bring it up. You were just uncomfortable at one of the episodes.
Yes, and I actually vomited while I was watching it. I had a really bad visceral reaction, and then ever since then I didn't finish the series. But
okay, noted.
I don't like bathroom humor.
I think I just fast forward through that. I don't know why. Like, we live in the day and age that you could fast forward through episodes.
I don't know.
Like, scenes like that.
I know.
You're like, I'm going to stick it out and I'm going to watch.
Well, they don't actually show it to you. So I didn't realize I was grossed out until
even now,
the end.
Shows that I like, if it's a boring scene, I'll just fast forward it.
Interesting.
Yeah, if it's like awkward and like, an awkward moment's happening, I'm just like, 15 seconds. Like the 15 second clip?
I do that during sex scenes. I never thought to do it in any other medium.
You could do it for anything.
Wow.
Anything that you want. Anything your little heart desires.
Mind blown.
Yeah. Some fun facts about this episode. It was filmed on 6 iPhones.
6 different iPhones.
Series, whatever that one. I guess that's 10, right?
Interesting.
Wherever we are now. And they they kept swapping them out when they would like lose battery and storage and stuff. But it was filmed on all iPhones.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So I did actually watch this specific episode, and I couldn't. My brain kept thinking and focusing on like the inaccuracies.
Okay.
So like it begins on Dykeman Street, which is not the top of Manhattan. So like. When we did the walk, we started on the northernmost subway stop. Yeah. And so we started on 215th Street. So I was like, damn, why are they like... I wondered if that was part of it. You think they did that on purpose? Like they were trying to act like, kind of like doo-doo-doos? Like, oh, this is the top, and it's not even the top?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was their angle.
Yeah. I don't think it was their angle. I think they just were like, this is where we're going to start.
Okay.
And the director was Michael... No, what's his name? Oh, Nick Palmy, and he actually did the walk to see like what could be realistic of like
He didn't do a
and
good job.
I was gonna say, and I feel like you didn't feel he did.
No, that was not realistic. For me, because like so they started, they didn't. Well, okay, yeah. So,
how do you want to do? How far is Dykeman from the 215 stop?
I don't know. It's a couple down.
Couple stops down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It might not even be on the right line. I'm not sure. But I know it's not the last stop. It's not like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Because I think there's like 2 or 3 more stops after Dykeman.
Okay.
So... I don't
think we need to get really caught up in the semantics of this right now.
I did research it, so all I know is the episode and our experience. That's all I'm going off of.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and they didn't stop anywhere above Harlem, like above 125th Street. Like their first stop was Red Rooster. They stopped
at the mansion.
Oh, they did. Okay, right. The Morris Jamel mansion. Yeah. I mean, let's get into that. That was kind of cool. That reminded me of King's Manor.
Yeah, so let's talk about our experience. So I've always wanted to do this. So how we were going to initially do this was we read this Fugazi. Oh, gotta charge Anna. We read this Fugazi like Summer Street article. I guess we just didn't read it right, where we thought there was going to be like one street, Broadway, where it was closed the entire way down from the top of Manhattan to the bottom. That's like kind of what we read it as.
Well, it is, though. It actually is closed. Yeah, but it's not the week we wanted to do it. So we wanted to go on July 26th. Well, July 26th was the first day of Summer Streets, but it started in, like, Staten Island and Queens, and they didn't close down the Manhattan blocks yet.
So that's how we kind of started it, and then we picked this day, and that's the only day that's going to work for us for the rest of the summer, so we were, like, stuck to it.
Yeah.
And so we started off at 215th Street, and because we've never really explored that part of Manhattan, we were just so like
Inwood.
We loved seeing like the George Washington Bridge area and like finding this random like neighborhood over there.
Yeah, like so I was just fascinated with how much historical like parks and historical landmarks exist above like 141st Street. So like there was a Maurice Jamel mansion that like dates back to like the Revolutionary War times.
That was
and
built in 1765, and that was the headquarters for Washington and his troops.
Yeah. And then also there was like that really beautiful one street with all those 3-story wood frame houses on Sylvan Terrace.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like that's like one of the only places you can find wood framed houses. Like most of them were just teared down. Mm-hmm. And if you look in this block, it's like you really do feel like you're brought back. Like we did the research on Stone Street, and that feels old, but like this is old. Like those are the same building that's always been there. You know what I mean? So that was really
America cool. Old though.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Not old, American old.
But like not burned in a fire and then recreated. Yeah. Kind of like it's like it always was what it is or whatever. And then, to my knowledge, to my surprise rather, I didn't know that Alexander Hamilton had a property that like he lived on around 141st Street.
Yeah.
And I brought it up to my dad because like my dad's someone who knows a lot of facts. And I was like, did you hear about this like Hamilton Grange? And he didn't even know about it. So I just feel like there's all these like really cool nuggets, and I'd love to go back. Gems, yeah, I'd love to go back and see the mansion and like go in and get a tour, and like I just feel like I could have been uptown like the whole day.
Yeah.
Just exploring.
And I would say we burnt ourselves out a little bit too quickly because we walked like 6 miles when like we had like 1 mile and we walked like 5 miles because we were going in and out of everything.
Right. Like the full walk should only be 13 miles, but I feel like we walked like 5 miles in that area.
5 miles in that area.
And you know what I thought was really cool? That moment that for the first time ever that I was on Central Park North. That felt like so weird, like an alternate reality. Mm-hmm. But it's still pretty there. It feels more like outgrown. Like, I don't know. It's more wooded over there.
Yeah, it's like a forest. I think it was called, I think when you geotagged us, it said like something
North
forest.
Woods. Yeah, the North Woods, like the North Woods of Central Park.
You know, and then we saw the new pool that was there. I mean, from the tales that I've heard of the activities that are going on there, it seemed pretty tame to me. Everything seemed pretty normal.
Yeah, I mean, no one was in the pool. I don't know if I don't know what that was about, but it seemed like everyone was waiting for something like to be allowed back in the pool. So
right.
I don't know
and
why
then we were like leaving, there was like a little line to get into the pool, and they were like, yeah, we stopped people coming in, but like it should start up again soon. Like I'm sure they were just like doing something, but
and it was a surprise to me the pool becomes an ice rink in the wintertime.
Yeah. Versatile, you know?
Very cool.
So then we obviously walked through one of the places in the episode they go to is like called the Red Rooster. We went there in Harlem.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get our hair braided. They do that in the episode.
No, we didn't do that.
And then we just kind of saw, we from Central Park all the way down to like 20th, we were just like booking it because.
Yeah. And safe to say, neither of us fell in a manhole.
Neither, but you did get hurt. We did have to stop for Band-Aids.
Yes.
On the thing, it was like what to bring on the trek, and it was like
it's Band-Aids. It's so funny because you're like, I'm wearing sneakers. I'm sure they're fine, but like, I guess my Air Maxes have like a 8 mile cap, and then they're like, nah, we're gonna start messing up. We're gonna start giving you blisters. Mm-hmm. Around Times Square, they started giving me blisters. Where I started realizing it.
One of like the hidden like I guess it's not the hidden storyline, but it's like the meaning of the episode is because they do everything filmed on the iPhone and they do it all through stories, and they have, you know, like the GIFs on them, on like whatever, how you make stories.
Yeah.
We also were doing that while we were going along. And in the episode, the main character, Ilana, mostly it's filmed on hers, and then her phone falls in the water, so then they move to Abby's phone, and then when they get to Battery Park, this character who's in the episode, this mom who they like they didn't steal the daughter, but like they.
Oh yeah, there's a certain point where like they stop. Okay, this I think was really interesting.
This is her unrealistic part.
This is my unrealistic part. They stop at the Manhattan Mall in Herald Square, but if you watch the episode, and here's a little Queens connection, it's all being filmed at the Queens Center Mall.
Maybe they couldn't get the rights to film there.
That's what I figured. Yeah. I bet you Queens Center Mall is a little cheaper, a little more affordable, but.
So in the episode, there's a mom where they're in the mall and they like take this kid who's like unsupervised. Anyway, at the end where they get to Battery Park, the mom shows up and like slams the second phone out of their hands, and it like breaks everywhere. And like So now they have no phones. Everything's like not filmed on an iPhone anymore. And the mom goes away and it's just the two of them. And they see a triple rainbow. They see a triple rainbow at the end. And one of their skits is like, we don't have anything to film it on.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, let's just enjoy the moment. So the whole episode's like underlining meaning was they feel like they didn't really experience the walk because everything was being filmed and recorded through the lens of a phone.
Okay.
And the moments that they didn't record were the moments that they were spending together seeing like the beauty in the world.
And they were truly in it. Yeah, and experiencing it.
And this just goes back to our experience because there was one point of the trip where the sun was beating down. We were halfway through and I was so tired. And Diana was like, let's film this. And I was like, I don't want to do it now.
I don't want to do it.
I just want to be in the moment.
But I guess I want to capture us being angry.
We both needed a break.
Yeah. And we actually stopped at, there's this so maybe like 2 or so months ago, we went to this escape room in the Flatiron District. Mm-hmm. And we're walking and like right around that area, not that we planned it at all, you were like, look, there's an Irish flag. Like, let's just go to that pub, whatever it is. And like, as we get closer, I'm like, it's the Ivory Peacock. It's the place we went like after the escape room. And like, we were like so excited. It was right there. And they have backs on their chairs.
They got backs on their chairs. They have a gin martini bar in the back. And if you're at the gin martini bar, they put your martini in ice.
Yeah, they like didn't do that for us in this like tin cup.
But it was all right. They didn't do it this time because we didn't sit at the gin martini.
Yeah. But it was okay. It was so cool. But it's just kind of funny. It makes you wonder.
They charged my phone for free.
Yeah. Well, first they tried to charge you to charge your phone, and then I don't know, something happened and it went awry. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's funny. Like I felt something about walking. So like we were saying, like Uptown was really exciting. It was like seeing new things, seeing things we'd never seen before. But I think in some ways, being able to walk like from, I don't know, the 80s to like down to the 20s, knowing that you knew the terrain, it almost like helped my mind a little bit. It was just like, okay, we're just walking through this.
Yeah, we know where we
space.
Gotta go.
Yeah, well, it didn't feel like a journey. It just felt, at least, the whole thing felt like a journey. But at least at that moment, it felt like my brain could shut down a little bit and not like be so aware of like, what's that? Or be less curious. It could have just been that like we were tired too, that like our brains got less curious too. But I do think there's nothing like a drink to like carry you another couple like 20 or 30 miles, you know, or no, 20, 30 blocks, sorry.
The gin martini brought me back to life.
It brought you back. It was like a resuscitation.
Yeah, and I think there was one point where when we were going through Times Square, which we wouldn't have done generally, but we were doing it for the sake of like trying to hit all the hot spots, you know?
Yeah.
And it got rough when we
needed to get out of
there.
The minute we were walking towards it, I was like, we need to get out of here, like ASAP.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, but you're right. Like, where else could we really have stopped? That was, I don't know, a good landmark in that area.
Yeah, I feel like it had to be done.
It had
but
to
we
be
did
done.
it, you know? Like, that was the worst part, was walking down that one.
Yeah, that was really the worst part. Yeah, and then, you know, it was really cool is like when we finally hit Battery Park, there was all these people getting off of a boat, and there was this guy who you could tell is like employed by like the Liberty boat crew or whatever, and he wasn't letting anyone pass.
We didn't mention how when we finally got to Battery Park,
that was so
whatever construction they're doing, they have all of these like construction walls.
They have all these fences up.
You couldn't see anything, and we walked like an extra mile just to like get to the end,
so that we could get a view,
the view of the Statue of Liberty.
Right, and so when we're trying to get to the view, there's still a gate there, so it's not like. It wasn't one of those days where you could just like look over the ledge and be there. Like I really wanted to get on the other side of the gate.
Yeah.
So I told this guy, I was like, come on, let us through. We're just going to take one picture. We just walked from 225th Street to Battery Park. And the guy was like, what? You did what?
And he let us take
He let us in. He let us take a shot. And then we ran into two
New
people.
York hospitality.
That is. Yeah, I know. That was really nice of them. And then we also ran into two people who had done the walk as well.
Yeah, we were recording our last, like, we did it at, like, a film. These two girls came out to us, like, wait, did we just hear you guys did the Broad City Walk? We just did it, too. And we were, like, talking to them, and, like, that was really, really cool that we met the people who were doing it as well. But
their approach was much different than ours.
Yeah, they were like, when did you start? And we were like, we got to the top at 8 a.m. They're like, whoa! Yeah. We got there at like 11:30.
Or 10, yeah, something like that.
And then it was like 11:30. It was like, it only took them like 5.5 hours.
They didn't stop anywhere at all. They did a true straight shot. They didn't stop anywhere to eat. They didn't stop anywhere to drink. They didn't go off-roading to check out any of the historical sites uptown. So, you know, they were just about like getting it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't remember them saying that they didn't stop. I remember them just being like, yeah, we didn't like go to any of the, like, we just went all the way down.
I didn't get the feeling that they went and saw like Hamilton's house or like they may have seen the mansion.
You didn't do the things that were on the Broad City episode?
They didn't do that.
Are you sure? You don't know. You didn't ask them.
On the Broad City episode, they didn't go to Sylvan Terrace. They didn't go in the Broad City. They didn't go to Hamilton's house.
Mansion.
Yes, but that's it.
And then they went to the Red Rooster. And then they went to the brunch place. And then they went to the mall.
But they didn't go see the Washington, the George Washington Bridge or nothing like that.
I'm saying the girls that we met. Like, how do you know they didn't do those places?
I think we asked if they stopped there. Did you stop at the Red Rooster? And
we were saying, we were talking a lot. We were like, we want here. And they were just like, okay, can you get away from me?
I just recall them being like, we didn't stop anywhere. I think we took over
that conversation, though.
But from the little words they got in.
I don't really know what they did.
All right, so then they stopped everywhere, but they have like motor feet. They were just like the fastest kids alive.
I'm not saying they did what we did. I'm just saying that like I don't know if they stopped at the Red Rooster place because that's.
I remember asking them and they said no.
They said no.
Yeah. And they definitely didn't stop off to get a drink anywhere.
Well, you know what? We were there for the experience.
Well, by the end of the day, I had 18 miles clocked in. I had 18 miles clocked in.
Felt like 18 hours. Yeah. I had 18 miles. And then we took the ferry home. It was a beautiful day.
Yeah. And I remember on like our way down, I was asking like, oh, do you think we're going to get like a runner's high? I would say by the end, I definitely was getting like a walker's high. I was like very like euphoric at the end. I was like giving motivational speeches.
Yeah, I don't know if that hit me. Might skip me. I remember taking a Dramamine before the ferry, and I still felt really sick on the ferry.
Yeah.
And then when I got home, I was like kind of sick. You know what I don't like about walking that much is no matter what you do, when you're like laying down, your feet are just pulsing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, remember when we used to work at Mandy's and you were like on your feet all day? No matter what, like there's nothing you could do. Like you just have to fall asleep to like pulsing feet.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt. And I was like, oh, I just want this to end.
It reminded me a bit of like, maybe like 2 summers ago, I went to the Rockville Music Festival in Daytona, Florida. Mm-hmm. And like when you're at a festival, you're just on your feet all day.
Yeah, like there's no seats at the festival.
Sometimes if you want to get a good vantage point for whatever band you're seeing, you have to just kind of stand there. And, like, my feet were, like, yeah, it was kind of a similar feeling of, like, the soles of your feet just feeling, like, irritated.
Yeah, and both of us sent pictures to each other when we got home, and we were both massaging our feet.
Yeah, we had our machines.
I'm like, this is over 30.
I think that's anyone who's doing a 30-mile walk. Except those girls, they're, like, they're like Spartans.
Yeah. But I thought it was so nice. I mean, like, the whole challenge, you know, or the episode is based on like just being with your friend, and like obviously we met another group of 2 girls that did this, and it's like a really great experience to go with your really good friends and enjoy the city.
It's so true. And like to go back to what you were saying about the inspiration behind the episode, like how it's, you know, it's like female bonding. It's also like a love letter to Manhattan, like, you know, the city that you love to love and sometimes hate to love or love to hate, you know what I mean? And so, you know, I'm going to say like the same thing I said 8 times when we finally got to Battery Park, but you have this love-hate relationship as like an outer borough person to Manhattan. Like you love it, you feel a sense of connection, but you also feel a sense of like that it's a little out of reach for you just because it's this grand thing and you could hardly afford it. Mm-hmm. But something about saying like I walked from the top to the bottom made you feel like I finally like got a bite of it.
Felt like some kind of closeness to the city.
Yeah, you conquered it a little bit.
I think, you know, doing this podcast and going to all these new places in Manhattan and just or anywhere in New York City, New York City is so special, and I feel so connected to New York City, just like living here my whole life.
Yeah.
But even living here my whole life and feeling connected, like you still feel like you're never gonna get it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's just like this feeling of like New York doesn't belong to anybody. It's like, you know, you were just here to enjoy it. Like that's literally it. Like
we're like observers. We're like passive observers, and like even when you're in it, you're like, it's not yours.
It's not yours.
No,
it's not yours.
It's everybody.
It's everybody's.
And it's nobody's at the same time.
Yes! It's everybody's and it's nobody's at the
so
same
paradoxal. I'm telling you, when you make that walk, your brain starts spinning. Like
you feel 17 levels.
I'm there. The onion is peeling. It's unraveling. But yeah, it made me think, like, that's, like, what did you bring up earlier? What did they refer to it before Broad City? The trek? The urban trek. It makes me think, like, we could create different urban treks every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, we hit those spots, we could hit another, like, number of spots.
When we were doing this and we almost got to the bottom, I was like, why don't we do west to east next time? You're like, so just like 20 blocks.
We like start from here and then we just like go really low. I mean, I don't mind doing either. We could do like south to north next, but pick a new path. I don't want to hit the same spot.
No, but I was saying like west to east because it's like only the little skinny part.
Yeah, we're quitting after that. We're gonna diminish it. Oh man, but yeah, it was so cool. Very cool, and it was part of your perfect day.
It was. And it was a perfect day.
It was a perfect day. It's not a perfect day without struggling a little bit.
No. You have to have conflict in life, you know, so that you make it to the What's cinematic?
The climax? Wait, what?
Climax. Well, everything about this is like sexual, like dip to dip, climax.
I think it's Broad City is like that.
Yeah. So grab your friends, go on the urban trek or the Broad City challenge.
Yeah,
you're not gonna regret it.
And then like, you know, make it yours. You know what I mean?
100%.
Don't feel like you have to do like a lot of people blog and say the places they went. Like, you know, mix it up, do your thing. You know, like we wanted to go to the damn it, why can't I think about it? The big water thing.
Big water thing.
The aqueduct. No, not the aqueduct. The Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. It's like where we used to get our water, where we used to drink our water from. Reservoir. Yeah, there were certain things that we wanted to see on the way, so we decided to go there.
we didn't see the reservoir.
But yeah, very cool. I'd recommend doing it. Carve out a day.
Yeah.
Do the thing.
And
what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. All right, so peace out.
2 queens out.
We did it.